Well, you know, somebody who is the perfect person, the best person aside from Donald Trump himself to talk to about his candidacy, somebody who knows him very well, ran with him last time. We're talking about the former Vice President of the United States, Mike Pence. He's got a brand new book out just this week. It's called So Help Me God. Mr. Vice President, good morning to you.
Good to be with you all. Good morning.
It's good to have you. So,
and we had snow in Indiana last week.
Oh.
You guys don't cancel school.
Yeah.
go to school.
No.
Come on,
The Bible
please.
says we're not supposed to be jealous people, but can I be jealous of your snow?
It's coming. Believe
Forgive me,
it's
Lord.
Yeah.
Mr. Vice
Good morning.
President, so many Republicans had urged the former president, your running mate, wait until after Georgia because they want that Senate seat in Republican hands. He did not. Any idea why?
Well, that'd be a good question for him, Steve. I couldn't be more excited about the fact that House Republicans are going to secure a majority. Kevin McCarthy is going to be the next Speaker of the House, and I'm anxious to see Herschel Walker. Although it won't be a majority in the Senate, I'm anxious to see Herschel Walker be elected in that special election in Georgia. And I think the American people are really focused there. But it's a free country. The president's entitled to announce his intentions whenever he desires. But I honestly believe that we'll have better choices come 2024. You know, I don't think anybody could have...
Better choices than Donald Trump?
I do. I don't think anyone could have beaten Hillary Clinton other than Donald Trump in 2016. I write that in my new book. I learned that on the campaign trail with him in 2016, and the record that we created, that I know he reflected on last night, where we rebuilt our military, revived our economy, secured our border, appointed conservatives to our courts at every level, is something that I'll always be proud of. But as I've traveled around the country over the last 2 years, people have repeatedly come up to me and said, you know, we want to get back to the policies of the Trump-Pence administration, but I think there's a genuine desire for leadership that could unite the country around our highest ideals, and leadership that would reflect, I think, more of the civility and respect that Americans show each other every day. You know, I'm out of politics now, and once you get out of politics and we move back to Indiana, you realize the American people actually get along pretty well most days, and it's our politics that's deeply divided. I just think I have a sense the American people want a new style of leadership that'll reflect the way they deal with one another every day.
Did you feel at the time during those 4 years the president was being unnecessarily divisive?
No, you know, look, the Republican voters and then the American people elected Donald Trump, and I think he was the right man at the right time for America. I joined that ticket in 2016, Brian, without hesitation, because I thought the country was in a lot of trouble, and it was. Can you even imagine if we'd have had 4 years of Hillary Clinton in the White House? The Supreme Court alone would have been lost to the left for generations. And Donald Trump was elected not just because of his agenda, but because of that style. People very much wanted that style to confront an establishment in Washington, D.C. that wasn't listening to the American people anymore. Now I believe we're in a different season in the life of the nation, and I don't know what role my family and I will play in that debate over the next 2 years. We'll sort that out in the days ahead. But I hear people say we want to get back to the policies that I write about, and so help me God. I'm incredibly proud of what we accomplished in that season. But I do sense that we'll have better choices and leadership that will unite the people around those timeless American values.
I know that you're on the short list of people that have mentioned, or people in the political realm have mentioned they would like you. I know. They would like you, possibly Ron DeSantis and others, to run for president. I know you told Sean Hannity on Fox that you and Karen would decide over Christmas. All of your children will be back together. The whole family will be together for the first time in 3 years. Will you make the announcement in January, or will you wait till the summer? When do most people make the announcement?
You know, Ainsley, a friend of mine said a long time ago, there's two kinds of people in politics. People that are driven and people that are called. And if you read So Help Me God, you'll see I was both. I mean, I try and be candid about early in my political career, I let my ambition get ahead of what I believe my faith as a Christian requires of me in the way that I carry myself in the public square. But when it came back around 10 years later with 3 little kids, Karen and I just took the matter to prayer, and we felt called to step forward in 2000. I had the privilege, as I write, to be a conservative leader in the Congress of the United States, to be governor of the state of Indiana, and ultimately vice president of the United States. But all along the way for us, it was always, where do we feel like the Lord is calling us? And I can tell you, when our family gathers, and you're right, with two in the military and deployments, our family actually hasn't been together for 3 years. We're all going to be together this Christmas. We'll talk, we'll pray, we'll reflect, and then Karen and I will make a decision based upon that sense of calling in our lives.
Can you bring us to that last conversation you had with the president in the Oval Office? You said, I'm going to pray for you, and he said, don't bother. Can you describe that exchange? You do in your book, but why don't you for the people that haven't gotten it yet?
Well, sure, Brian. Look, I was always